Sports cars, especially those of the bright red and noisy variety like these two, are surely the reason we all suffer from our affliction for cars in the first place. To look at, they amaze, to drive, they often thrill, and to assess, well, that's where it gets interesting. Because although the Cayman GTS and Jaguar's F-type coupé V6 S cost broadly the same as one another in the showroom, on the road, or near the limit, they couldn't be more different from one another. And there are all sorts of intriguing reasons why. The F-type uses a supercharged V6 that's mated to an 8-speed paddle shift gearbox, whereas the Cayman's 3.4 litre flat 6 is atmospheric and is connected to a more conventional 6-speed manual. Both are rear-wheel drive, and in the case of the test cars, both have slippy diffs, the Jaguars being a standard fitment, the Cayman's an optional extra.
I do love the F-type coupe, I really do, especially this V6 S version, which doesn't have quite the kind of madness of poke that the V8's got. It's got 375 horsepower instead of 542 horsepower of the V8, but it just feels that much, a little bit more agile, a little bit more nimble than the V8, and it still feels flipping fast, and it sounds just delightful. I mean, that's a proper Jaguar style noise that it makes, and I absolutely love it. Love the driving position in the F-type coupe. You really do feel deeply integrated into the car, and it feels like you're sitting right over the rear axle. It feels expensive inside here as well. I mean, it's got a lovely kind of sporting feel to it, but it does feel like you know where your pounds are going when you're sitting in this car. Possibly more so than the Porsche, I think. It's a very, very special cabin in the F-type coupe. And it drives really well too. I mean, the noise is great, but it's got lovely steering, really, really accurate front end. The rear end doesn't feel just as lively and likely to try and spit you into the trees in the V6S than it does in the V8. It definitely feels a little bit less manic. And I really like it, I really do. Great brakes, really good, solid pedal feel. The throttle response is really nice too. And because you've got this 8-speed gearbox, you can just do that all day, every day in the F-type coupe. It just feels so nicely balanced. On and around the limit, you can really muck about with it. You can take huge liberties, and it'll just come back from the most ludicrous angles of attack. So what does it do that the Porsche does even better? I think the Porsche's throttle response is a bit keener, a bit, just that little bit more electric feeling. I think the Porsche has nicer steering. The F-type's got really nice steering, but the Porsche just goes to another level again. But what the F-type does, I think even more so than the Porsche, is just have this incredible amount of personality. It's almost cartoon-like in its personality. It's big and it's brash and it's really loud. And it's just, if you're in the mood for it, the F-type coupe is just a riot. It really is. I mean, it hangs on nicely too. There's no understeer there. There is, of course, lots and lots of oversteer. It's just beautifully sorted. It really is a lovely, lovely sports car, the F-type, especially in coupe V6 S, guys. I think this is the best F-type of all.
Okay, it's confession time here. The microphone we normally use wasn't working properly in the Porsche, so you might struggle to hear a little bit of what I'm saying. But don't worry, most of it's rubbish anyway. It also means that you get to hear what the Cayman's flat 6 sounds like much better when it's being ragged. God, I love the Cayman GTS, I really do. It's just one of those really unusual cars that everything comes together. And it's just almost perfect under one roof. It's got lovely steering, it's got lovely handling, balance, feel, great brakes, brilliant driving position, thanks partly to these mega sports seats. I think it looks just exceptional, it really does, especially on the 20-inch wheels. This one's got the carbon ceramic brake option, which is obviously a few more quid, but the brakes themselves are just brilliant. Everything the Cayman GTS does dynamically just blows your mind. I even really like the fact that there's a manual gearbox. I know I've gone on and on about the merits of PDK over the years and said that it's just that much better than the manual gearbox, but it's just delightful being able to stir the lever yourself and do some heel and toe down changes. There are many things that separate the F-type Coupe V6 S from the Cayman GTS, but I think the thing that you notice probably more than anything else in the move is the Cayman's absence of weight. It weighs pretty much 1/4 of a tonne less than the Jaguar, and you can feel that in everything it does. The Porsche just feels, there is just less inertia, there is less car to maintain control of. And you just notice it in everything that the Cayman does on the move. It just feels that much more agile, that much more alert, that much just, more sorted and better on the road. I absolutely love it, I really do. And not just because you can do that sort of stuff in it. There are so many reasons why this thing is just a peach to drive. And you know what? It's actually not that quick. It's not. I don't think it's just as quick as the Jaguar, but that matters not one bit because it is easily quick enough. Oh man, I would just, if there's one car I could have for the rest of time that I've driven in this job that's remotely sensible money, I think it's the Cayman GTS. I think it is just brilliant. So try as it might, and good sports car though it undoubtedly is, the F-Type can't quite deal with the Cayman's genius in the end. On any other day and against almost any other rival, the excellent Jaguar would probably walk it, but not today. Not against a machine as exceptional as the Cayman GTS.